The Neptune Research Station sirens pierced the artificial night cycle, jolting Dr. Sarah Chen from her analysis of deep space mineral samples. The emergency lights cast an eerie red glow across her laboratory as Admiral James Torres's voice echoed through the station's comm system. "This is not a drill. All personnel to emergency stations. Unknown vessels approaching at FTL speeds. I repeat, this is not a drill." Sarah's hands trembled as she secured her samples. After 15 years studying Neptune's atmosphere, she'd never heard such tension in the Admiral's voice. Through the reinforced windows, she watched as the station's defense platforms hummed to life. Technology that most of Earth's population didn't even know existed. The first signs of trouble came as brilliant flashes of light near Triton, Neptune's largest moon. The research outpost there went dark seconds later. 5 massive ships emerged from the darkness, their hulls covered in what appeared to be salvage armor plating from a dozen different civilizations. "They're not responding to hails," Torres announced, his voice tight with controlled fear. "All non-essential personnel, proceed to evacuation pods immediately." Sarah reached for her tablet, quickly transferring years of research data to the quantum-secured servers. Whatever happened next, humanity's scientific progress wouldn't be lost. As she worked, a junior officer burst into her lab. "Dr. Chen, Admiral Torres needs you in the command center. Now." The command center was organized chaos when Sarah arrived. Holographic displays showed the approaching vessels, while station personnel coordinated with Earth's Defense Command. Admiral Torres stood at the center, his weathered face illuminated by the displays. "Dr. Chen, those ships, they're using some kind of energy signature you documented 3 months ago. The one you said couldn't possibly be natural." Sarah's blood ran cold as she accessed her files. The energy pattern she detected had been dismissed as an anomaly, a quirk of Neptune's magnetic field. Now she watched as the same signature pulsed from the alien vessel's engines. "They're pirates," a new voice announced. General Maria Santos' hologram materialized in the command center, her uniform bearing the classified insignia of Earth's Special Defense Division. "We've been tracking their activities across 3 sectors. They raid advanced civilizations, steal their technology, and use it to hit harder targets." "But why here?" Sarah asked, studying the data streams. "Neptune's research stations are hardly." She stopped, her eyes widening as she realized the truth. "The quantum communication array. They think it's all we have." Torres nodded grimly. "Earth has kept its true technological capabilities hidden for decades. As far as the galaxy knows, we're still taking our first steps into space." The station shuddered as the first shots were fired. The pirates' weapons, a horrifying mix of stolen technology, slammed against the station's shields. To everyone's surprise, the barriers held. "Return fire," Torres ordered. "Show them what human innovation really looks like." The defense platforms surrounding Neptune Research Station responded with precisely calibrated quantum beams, technology Earth had developed in secret, learning from every encounter with alien artifacts and signals over the past 50 years. 2 of the smaller pirate vessels exploded immediately, their stolen shields useless against weapons they'd never encountered. The remaining ships pulled back, clearly shocked by the resistance. "They're transmitting," a communications officer announced. A hologram materialized in the command center. The alien captain was a towering figure with crystalline scales and cybernetic implants from at least 3 different species. When it spoke, its translator rendered its words in harsh, mechanical English. "Impossible. Our intel suggested your species was primitive, barely able to reach your outer planets." "Your intel was wrong," General Santos replied, her hologram stepping forward. "This is your only warning. Leave Earth space immediately, or face the consequences of attacking a Level 7 restricted system." The alien captain's expression shifted to one of genuine fear. "Level 7. That's impossible. The Galactic Council wouldn't." Its eyes widened with sudden understanding. "They don't know about you." "Correct," Santos smiled. Earth chose isolation while we developed our own path to the stars. You've just stumbled into a hornet's nest, Captain. The only question is, how badly do you want to get stung? Before the alien could respond, new alarms blared. Sarah watched in horror as a massive ship emerged from FTL near Triton. The pirates' flagship. Its hull was covered in weapons that shouldn't have been compatible, somehow forced to work together through stolen integration technology. You understand nothing, the captain snarled. We are the Crimson Scourge. We've raided the most secure facilities in 12 sectors. Your hidden technology will make a fine addition to our collection. The transmission cut off as the flagship opened fire. This time, the station's shields buckled under the assault. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut as hull breaches were detected in the outer sections. Execute Protocol Omega, General Santos ordered. Dr. Chen, you're about to see why we really built those research stations around Neptune. Sarah watched in awe as the gas giant's atmosphere began to ripple. Massive structures, hidden in plain sight for decades, emerged from the clouds. Earth's true defense fleet, disguised as atmospheric research platforms, powered up their engines. The real battle for Neptune was about to begin. Commander Maya Patel stood in Earth's Quantum Defense Center, buried deep beneath the Indian Ocean, watching as holographic displays tracked the battle near Neptune. Her team of cyber warfare specialists worked in focused silence, their neural interfaces connecting them directly to Earth's most advanced quantum computers. The pirates' flagship is using a hybridized system, Lieutenant Raj Kumar reported, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. They've stolen quantum processors from at least 7 different civilizations, forced them to work together through brute force integration. Maya smiled. Amateur hour. That's their weakness. Run penetration sequence alpha through epsilon. Let's see how well stolen tech holds up against purpose-built systems. The air hummed with the sound of quantum processors as Earth's cyber warfare systems engaged the pirates' defenses. On the main display, the Crimson Scourge's flagship continued its assault on Neptune Station, unaware that its computer systems were already compromised. Multiple vulnerabilities detected, announced Dr. Emma Hayes, the team's quantum architecture specialist. Their integration protocols are creating cascade failures across their network. We can exploit that. Maya watched as her team's attacks slipped through the cracks in the pirates' defenses. The criminals had relied on stolen technology without understanding its fundamental principles. Each piece of their hybrid system spoke a slightly different quantum language, creating microscopic delays and conflicts that Earth's AI could exploit. Commander, Raj's voice carried an edge of excitement. We've gained access to their weapons control systems. Their quantum targeting computers are completely exposed. Before Maya could respond, a new hologram materialized in the command center. General Santos's face was grim. Commander Patel, we've detected energy buildup in the flagship's main weapon. They're preparing to fire on Neptune Station. Not anymore. They're not, Maya replied. Her fingers flew across the quantum interface as she initiated their prepared countermeasures. Execute Operation Butterfly Effect. Across the solar system, the pirates' flagship suddenly lost control of its weapons. The massive energy buildup meant for Neptune Station began to backfire through their own systems. Alarms blared across their network as safety protocols were bypassed one by one. Impossible. The pirate captain's voice boomed through their captured communications channels. How are you doing this? These are the finest quantum systems in the galaxy. Stolen systems, Maya corrected, allowing herself to be patched into the communication. You never bothered to understand how they work together. In cybernetics, just like in nature, the whole must be greater than the sum of its parts. The flagship's engines began to power down as Maya's team systematically took control of their core systems. Around it, the smaller pirate vessels found their weapons and shields failing as Earth's cyber warfare suite exploited the same vulnerabilities across their entire fleet. Dr. Chen, Maya called out to the scientists still on Neptune Station. Are you seeing this? Their quantum matrix is destabilizing exactly as your theories predicted. On the holographic display, Sarah Chen nodded excitedly. The integration protocols they're using violate 3 fundamental laws of quantum coherence. They've created a house of cards, and we're pulling out the bottom layer. The pirates' desperate counterattacks were pitiful compared to the cyber warfare systems Earth had developed. While they had stolen advanced technology, humanity had spent decades understanding the underlying principles, developing their own solutions, and preparing for exactly this kind of confrontation. "Commander," General Santos interrupted, "we're detecting unusual data patterns in their core systems, something hidden beneath the weapons and shield controls." Maya directed her team to investigate, and what they found sent chills down her spine. "General, these ships, they're not just carrying stolen weapons. They'd got star charts, coordinates, and warning messages about something called the Awakening." Before she could elaborate, new alarms blared. The pirates' flagship was making one final desperate move. Its reactor core began to overload, threatening to take out everything within 1,000,000 kilometers. "They're trying to trigger a quantum cascade failure," Emma shouted. "If that reactor goes critical, it'll tear apart the fabric of space-time in this entire region." Maya's hands flew across her interface. They couldn't let the pirates destroy themselves. Not before they learned what these mysterious warnings meant. "Raj, Emma, focus all processing power on their reactor controls. Dr. Chen, we need your quantum stability calculations now." As her team raced against time, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that this battle was just the beginning. Whatever had scared these pirates badly enough to make them seek refuge in a supposedly primitive system was still out there, waiting. And if the fragmented data in their systems was any indication, it was something that could threaten not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. Captain Zara Rodriguez stood at the helm of the EDS Nightshade, Earth's most advanced stealth vessel, watching as her ship glided silently through the chaos near Neptune. The quantum drives hummed at minimal power, making the ship virtually undetectable against the backdrop of space. "All hands, prepare for combat maneuvers," she ordered, her voice steady despite the tension. The Nightshade's crew, handpicked from Earth's special forces, moved with practiced precision. They had trained for years for a moment like this. The pirate flagship hung suspended in space, its systems crippled by Earth's cyber warfare team, but its reactor still threatening to destabilize. Smaller pirate vessels circled it like wounded sharks, their stolen weapons firing randomly into space in desperate attempts to defend against an enemy they couldn't even detect. Engineering reports quantum masking fields at optimal efficiency. Lieutenant David Chen reported from his station. "We're completely invisible to their sensor systems." Zara nodded, studying the tactical display. "Connect me to General Santos and Commander Patel." The holographic figures appeared on the bridge, their expressions tense. "Captain," Santos acknowledged, "the reactor situation is critical. We need that ship intact." "My team has managed to slow the cascade failure," Maya added, "but we can't stop it remotely. Someone needs to access their core systems directly." "That's where we come in," Zara smiled grimly. Nightshade was built for exactly this kind of insertion mission. "Lieutenant Chen, status of the boarding teams." "Strike teams Alpha through Delta are ready in the quantum launch tubes. Experimental phase shift armor is charged and tested." The phase shift armor was another of Earth's hidden advantages, technology that allowed soldiers to partially exist out of phase with normal matter, passing through solid objects for brief periods. It was dangerous and required immense concentration, but it was perfect for boarding hostile vessels. "Begin approach vector," Zara ordered. "Tactical, prepare the gravity disruptors." The Nightshade moved like a ghost through space, its advanced propulsion system leaving no trace. As they closed on the pirate flagship, Zara could see the damage their cyber attacks had caused. Energy arced between mismatched components, and sections of the hull flickered as shield harmonics failed. "New contact." David's voice cut through the tension. Massive quantum surge from the flagship's cargo hold. "There, They're trying to activate something. The pirate captain's voice boomed across all frequencies, tinged with desperation. You forced our hand, humans. If we can't have your technology, we'll use our last resort. Behold the power of the ancients. A blinding light erupted from the flagship's hull as something began to emerge from its cargo hold. The object was unlike anything Zora had ever seen. A crystalline structure that seemed to bend light around it, covered in symbols that hurt to look at. That's it. Sarah Chen's voice came through the comm. That's the source of the warning messages. It's some kind of ancient beacon. All teams, execute emergency boarding action now. Zara commanded. Whatever that thing is, we can't let them activate it. The Nightshade's quantum launch tubes fired, sending 4 teams of phase-shifted soldiers hurtling through space. They passed through the flagship's failing shields like ghosts, their specialized armor allowing them to penetrate the hull directly. Strike teams are in, David reported. Alpha Team is heading for the reactor core. Beta and Charlie are moving to secure the bridge. Delta is approaching the cargo hold. Zara watched the operation unfold through the strike team's quantum-linked feeds. Earth's soldiers moved with precision through the alien vessel, their phase-shift technology rendering the pirates' internal defenses useless. Years of training against simulated alien technology was paying off. Captain, Maya's voice was urgent. I'm detecting massive energy fluctuations from that ancient device. Whatever it is, it's powering up. The quantum signatures. They're like nothing we've ever seen. The crystalline object began to pulse with an inner light, each beat sending waves of unknown energy through space. Zara felt it somehow, a deep resonance that seemed to touch something primitive in her mind. Delta Team, status report. We've reached the cargo hold. The team leader's voice crackled. The device. It's not just a beacon. It's some kind of key. The pirates. They're not trying to activate it. They're trying to contain it. Before anyone could respond, the ancient device pulsed once more, and a massive quantum shockwave erupted outward. The Nightshade's sensors screamed as space itself seemed to twist and bend. And in that moment, every human within range heard it. A voice, ancient and terrible, speaking directly into their minds. The seals are breaking. The sleepers stir. The awakening begins. Time seemed to freeze as the ancient device's message echoed through every human mind in the Neptune system. On the Nightshade's bridge, Captain Rodriguez gripped her command chair as reality itself appeared to ripple around them. All stations, report. She commanded, fighting through the psychic resonance still ringing in her skull. Quantum drive stable, but we're detecting massive spatial distortions. David responded, his fingers flying across his console. That device, it's creating some kind of dimensional breach. The holographic representations of General Santos and Commander Patel flickered as quantum communications struggled against the distortions. In the background, Dr. Sarah Chen worked frantically at her station on Neptune. The pirates knew. Sarah's voice was filled with sudden understanding. They didn't come here to raid us. They were running from this. They needed somewhere to hide the key. On the main view screen, the crystalline device continued to pulse, each wave of energy growing stronger. Through the strike team feeds, Zara watched as both humans and pirates alike stumbled through the flagship's corridors, all affected by the psychic bombardment. Delta Team, can you shut it down? Zara demanded. Negative, Captain. The team leader responded. But the pirates, they're trying to tell us something. The feed showed a wounded pirate captain, its crystalline scales cracked and dulled. When it spoke, its translator glitched with static. We were fools, thought we could control it. The ancient ones, they locked them away. The sleepers, the devourers of stars. General, Maya's voice cut through the chaos. I'm detecting similar energy signatures, hundreds of them, all across the galaxy. They were dormant before, but now. They're waking up, Sarah finished. This device isn't just a key. It's part of a network, a warning system left by the ancients. The pirate captain laughed bitterly. We thought we found a weapon, something to make us unstoppable. Instead, we found the lock to a prison that should never be opened. Suddenly, the device's pulsing changed. The crystalline structure began to rotate, its impossible angles shifting in ways that defied physics. A beam of pure energy shot out, projecting a hologram that filled the space around them. Every person present, human and pirate alike, watched in horror as the projection showed scenes from eons past. They witnessed vast beings of dark energy consuming entire star systems, civilizations far more advanced than any present-day species falling before these cosmic horrors. And finally, they saw the ancients, beings of pure light and unimaginable technology, sacrificing themselves to create a prison of quantum energy, sealing away the threat. The keys, like the one the pirates had stolen, were scattered across the galaxy as both locks and warnings. The network is destabilizing, Maya reported, her voice tight with fear. Whatever these ancient prisons are, they're failing. We have minutes, maybe hours before they break free, the pirate captain finished. Before the devourers return. General Santos' hologram straightened, her expression hardening with determination. Then we have no choice. Captain Rodriguez, initiate emergency protocol unity. Zara nodded grimly. Understood, General. All strike teams, fall back to extraction points. Prepare to bring the pirate command staff with us. You would trust us? The pirate captain asked, genuine surprise in its translated voice. After we attacked you, we don't have a choice, Zara replied. Your people have encountered ancient technology before. You understand how to integrate different species tech. We need that knowledge. And we need your quantum science, the captain acknowledged. Your understanding of the fundamental forces, perhaps together. Another psychic wave hit them, stronger this time. Through the pain, Zara glimpsed images of massive dark shapes stirring in the void between stars, ancient and hungry. Strike teams are returning with pirate personnel, David reported. But Captain, the device's energy signature is reaching critical levels. Zara made her decision. Dr. Chen, Commander Patel, I need options. How do we contain this? As the humans and their former enemies raced against time, the ancient key continued its warning pulse, counting down to an awakening that threatened not just Earth, but all of known space. The real war was about to begin. The combined human and pirate fleet hung in Neptune's orbit, their ships arranged in a defensive formation around the ancient device. In the Nightshade's converted cargo bay, Dr. Sarah Chen worked alongside the pirates' chief engineer, their differences forgotten in the face of extinction. The quantum harmonics are almost aligned, Sarah announced, her hands moving across a hybrid console that merged Earth's precision technology with salvaged alien systems. If we can match the device's resonance frequency, we might be able to stabilize the prison network, finished Crickstall, the pirate engineer's crystalline scales glowing with concentrated effort. But the power requirements. Captain Rodriguez watched from the observation deck as more ships arrived. The entire Neptune defense fleet, joined by the remaining pirate vessels. Each had been modified in the past 12 hours, fitted with experimental quantum resonators designed to amplify the containment field they were about to attempt. General Santos, Zara called through the quantum comm. The fleet is in position. Commander Patel's cyber warfare team is ready to coordinate the power distribution network. Then we're as ready as we'll ever be, Santos replied. All ships begin power-up sequence. The space around Neptune lit up as dozens of ships activated their resonators. The ancient device, still pulsing with dimensional energy, began to respond to their efforts. But in the void beyond, something else was stirring. Multiple quantum breaches detected. David's voice was tense. The prison network, it's failing faster than we predicted. Through the quantum sensors, they watched in horror as tears in spacetime began to appear throughout the solar system. Dark shapes moved within these breaches, the Devourers awakening from their eons-long slumber. Energy spike. Sarah shouted. The device. It's not just a key anymore. It's changing. The crystalline structure that had caused so much chaos was transforming, its impossible angles shifting into new configurations. As they watched, it began to broadcast a new message. Not in words or images, but in pure mathematical concepts that both humans and pirates could understand. It's not just a warning system. Maya's voice came through the comm. The ancients left us a blueprint. The keys can be used to create a new prison. But the power required would burn out every ship in the fleet. Crickstall objected. Not if we do it right, Sarah countered. She looked up at Captain Rodriguez, her eyes bright with realization. Captain, remember how the pirates' hybrid systems failed because they didn't understand the underlying principles? What if we do the opposite? Understanding dawned across the command deck. Earth's quantum science combined with the pirates' knowledge of diverse technologies, not forced together, but properly integrated with true understanding. All ships, new orders, Zara commanded. Begin emergency protocol synthesis. Upload the quantum integration protocols we've developed. Across the fleet, human and pirate crews worked together, their ship's systems merging into something entirely new. Earth's deep understanding of quantum mechanics provided the foundation, while the pirates' experience with ancient artifacts guided the integration. The Devourers emerged fully now, their dark forms blotting out the stars. They were living voids, beings of such cosmic horror that reality itself seemed to recoil from their presence. But humanity had faced impossible odds before, and this time they weren't fighting alone. All ships report ready, David announced. Quantum network is stable. Integration protocols are holding. This is General Santos to all vessels. Commander Patul will coordinate the cyber systems. Dr. Chen and Chief Crickstall will monitor the quantum matrices. Captain Rodriguez has tactical command. Today we prove that the galaxy's greatest strength isn't stolen power or ancient technology. It's the ability to work together. Execute final sequence. Now, the combined fleet activated as one. The ancient device resonated with their unified energy, its transformation complete. A new type of quantum field began to form, one that belonged neither to humans nor pirates nor ancients, but to all of them. The Devourers struck, their dark energy weapons powerful enough to unmake worlds. But the quantum field held. Through their combined sensors, they watched as the cosmic horrors were caught in a prison of their own making, their power turned back upon itself by the unified technologies of multiple civilizations. One by one, the tiers in space-time sealed. The Devourers, trapped in a prison stronger than the one the ancients had built, were forced back into their dimensional exile. This time, the lock would hold. As the last quantum echoes faded, Captain Rodriguez looked around her bridge. Humans and pirates worked side by side, their previous conflict forgotten. They had achieved something unprecedented, not just victory over an ancient evil, but proof that the galaxy's species were stronger together than apart. General, she said, requesting permission to begin diplomatic discussions with our new allies. I think both sides have a lot to learn from each other. Granted, Captain, Santos replied, and I suspect this is just the beginning. The galaxy's about to change, and humanity will help lead the way. On the observation deck, Sarah and Crickstall were already deep in discussion about new possibilities for quantum integration. The hybrid console before them hummed with potential, a symbol of what could be achieved when different civilizations chose to understand rather than steal, to cooperate rather than conquer. The stars seemed brighter somehow, as if reflecting the hope of a future where humanity's greatest strengths, curiosity, innovation, and the ability to unite against impossible odds, would help forge a new path for all spacefaring species. The war was over. The real journey was about to begin.